We had requested, and it was ordered by the court, that the pertinent records of the bank with respect to the withdrawals and the transfers will be submitted to the court. And therefore, we would just reiterate that, Mr. President, when I raised the questions earlier regarding these withdrawals. My question is, were the manager's checks redeposited in the bank? The manager's checks that were withdrawn or that were executed in December 12?
As I've said earlier, sir, I will check first because I'm not very sure if they were already negotiated.
And when you say negotiated, you mean this was endorsed to possibly another bank?
Yes, Your Honor.
Or to another account? If it's another account, you would know.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you don't know.
They were not deposited or negotiated to get another account in the bank, Your Honor.
I see. Well, anyway, Mr. President, as was earlier ordered by the presiding officer, that the related documents, including what the presiding officer said earlier, with respect to these withdrawals and the transactions where it was transferred, will be submitted by the bank for the record, Mr. President. Thank you.
Senator Drilon, Mr. President, wishes to be recognized.
The gentleman from Iloilo.
Just a few questions, Mr. President. Your bank president earlier testified that there were two other accounts. Would you know if this account is with your branch?
Yes, Your Honor.
It is with your branch.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have the documents on these two other accounts?
It's with our president, Your Honor.
It is with your president. I mean, it is in the main office.
Yes, Your Honor.
Not with the president. Not in the possession of the president now. You wouldn't know.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. But what is certain is that there are two additional accounts.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Just to complete the information, the two accounts were accounts maintained in the what they call Katipunan branch of the PS Bank.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
No. So these documents pertaining to this accounts will be brought on the next hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the accounts mentioned are all in the name of Renato Coronado Corona. Were
Yes,
there
Your
also,
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you mentioned that the depositor sent, the depositor, meaning the Chief Justice, sent an authorization for the closing of the three accounts on December 12, 2011, through his wife, the wife being Christina.
Yes, Your
Corona.
Honor.
Now, did Christina Corona have separate accounts with your bank?
I don't know, Your Honor.
You don't know. You do not know it could exist, it may not exist. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you please also check whether or not Christina Corona would have accounts in Katipunan branch for the next hearing? And do we have to issue a subpoena, or is it enough that this request is being made today?
May I consult? Subpoena, Your Honor.
You prefer a subpoena. In that case, may I request that a subpoena be issued for the specific account of Christina Corona, who is the spouse of the Chief Justice.
Since the banks are here, bank officials, and since this is an impeachment case, and there is an exception regarding revelation of bank deposits in an impeachment case, may we know whether you would voluntarily bring the records of those two other accounts to this impeachment court, so that if you don't, then we will issue a subpoena.
Sir, I prefer a subpoena for my protection.
May I request the president of the bank to answer the question?
Your Honor, we understand that this is an order from the impeachment court. We will comply on the basis of the court.
Yes, the chair confirms that it is an order of the impeachment court
Yes,
for
sir.
you to bring the records pertaining to these two accounts mentioned by the gentleman from Iloilo.
We will do so, Your Honor.
All right. And you will bring them in the next hearing of this case, which will be
On Monday.
on Monday, the next Monday from today, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you understand the order of the court? Please say so for the record.
Yes, Your Honor, we understand the order of the court.
All right.
So we will just await those records, Mr. President, and just to complete it, also the president of the bank mentioned that he has an idea where the 17 million pesos, which was closed on under account number 089121023,848 for 17 million on December 12, 2011, he specifically said, quote, "I have an idea where the 17 million went, but I do not want to speculate." So maybe he can also bring the documents on this point so that we do not have to speculate.
What is the response of the president of the bank?
Your Honor, my response actually at that time was made in the context of an idea where from the time deposit it was paid out to. No? So in that particular aspect, as far as the payment out of the time deposit to through whatever facility or crediting, that was the context of my reply, Your Honor. But I did not want to categorically state it because I wasn't sure about it. I could remember that the time deposit was credited to one particular account, that of the...
Credited to one particular account in your bank.
Yes, Your Honor, but I am not conclusively certain about it. I will verify our records and then report to the court.
Okay. Is that satisfactory?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I understand that there was a request from the gentleman from Iloilo to subpoena the accounts, if any, of Mrs. Corona. Is that...
Well, the witness already said that yes, there was a request, Your Honor, because of the answers of Ms. Johnson, that there were actually... Did Ms. Johnson say there were accounts, or she will check if there are accounts?
Yeah, I will check.
I'm sorry?
I will check.
So
But
that-
I think, yeah.
Yeah. She will check, and if there are accounts, she will bring it here, the documents.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Mr. President,
Yes, the lady senator from...
thank you. Mr. President, I would just like to get guidance from His Honor as to how we are expected to treat the specific amount which was, I only have the last three digits, the 848, which was opened on June 29, 2011, closed on December 12, 2011, for 17 million because it is outside of the coverage of Article 2. So I would just like to get direction on how we as senator judges are expected to treat this because I cannot comprehend how this is covered by Article 2, and if we are now looking at this from a money laundering standpoint, I would just like to get direction. And this also goes for the opening of other accounts, and including the transfer of the account. I am definitely interested in the pursuit of justice, but I still need to understand how it relates specifically to Article 2, because this is why this witness is being presented. So we do not get confused by the issues, Mr. President.
I would suggest that we take this up in our caucus on Monday.
And I'd be very happy to, but I take this up because we already have additional documents now which later on may go into a year-end that is beyond the scope of Article 2, which, for the record, ends, as far as I recall, on December 31, 2010. Thank you.
If the Senate President will allow, as we were the one who raised this question,
Proceed.
the relevance, that is why precisely we are trying to find out the manager's check. There was a manager's check issued to withdraw 17 million. Where was this manager's check negotiated? If the witness is not even certain as to whether it was negotiated or it's still outstanding, and therefore it becomes relevant because on December 31 of 2011, this could be part of the assets which would be, of course, I'm sorry, I withdraw that, Mr. President. This could be part of the determination of the court as to whether or not there are unreported assets, Your Honor. But we do appreciate that we should discuss this in caucus, Your Honor.
Whatever values a person owns at a given date, then my understanding of the requirement for the preparation of statement of assets and liabilities and net worth, all those must be included. Now, whether they are in the form of cash, in the form of properties, in the form of real estate property, or in the form of securities or investments. Now, managers' checks are actually cash. They have the nature of a cash asset of a taxpayer, because you can negotiate them anytime and you can convert them into cash.
Mr. President, Senator Bongbong Marcos wishes to be
The
recognized.
gentleman from Ilocos Norte.
Just as a suggestion, Mr. President, I note that we had provisionally issued a subpoena for Congressman Banal. I am in receipt of information that he is in fact in the building, and perhaps we could just invite him to come and explain, whether he can confront the witness and explain what exactly the events that transpired during his visit to the bank. Just as a suggestion, Mr. President.
Well, if he's in the building, well, this chair have no objection if he will appear and clear the air about his post-involvement in this matter.
Before that, Mr. President, may we recognize Senator Joker Arroyo
The
before we
gentleman
decide.
from Makati and Bicol.
Any witness, any person that we call has the right to prepare. So give Congressman Banal time to prepare, because we cannot give a shotgun question here. So I think let the invitation stand.